Hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
We're back at Critter Woods.
Yeah.
And we're investigating a fresh sighting. I was up here this morning and I was talking to a lady at the top on the ridge there on the road who told me exactly when she was walking her dog. She saw a black 7.5 foot shape go straight across her path. And she was terrified, didn't know what it was, and the dog was barking and they fled, the two of them. And so I chatted to her about it this morning, and we've come back. She's shown me exactly the area where she saw it. We've come back tonight to have a look, do a little bit of an investigation on it, and we're going to see if we can see any footprints, any unusual footprints. We've already noticed some strange breaks in the trees up here, which this critter, if it's wolf, kind of like wolf dog, part human type thing, if it can climb trees, it will snap trees at the top. So we'll show you a little bit of that as well. So we're going to do our circular tour of this area where recently, once again, the famous critter has been seen.
People have seen it, so...
Okay, so we'll...
There must be something in it.
Yeah, there are some tree breaks right up there, some strange tree breaks. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that tree is... Shine your torches up as well, Andy. Shine your torches right up to that tree up there at the top that's got a clean, like, 90-degree angle break, which is unusual, you know, because trees that are weighted down by snow, they bend.
Yeah, they wouldn't,
so that's but it looks like something might have snapped that. But how can it snap it so far up? And it would be a bird, because birds are not gonna.
Not that.
You know. So that's just way up there.
You couldn't even say it was.
Yeah, snapped clean over. And I noticed today when I did my walkabout, there was other trees similar. You know.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was thinking, do you want to do some howls?
Yeah.
And then let's see if we can attract something. Alright, I'm just going to do the wolf howls, guys.
On my phone, or do you want me to do it myself?
Well, either yourself or do it myself if you want. Why not? It's more primeval, innit? If you... Primal, innit? If you... That's right. Alright, give it a minute. And then you can do another one. Alright, do you want to do a second howl? Alright, let's just listen for a minute.
And if there's people walking down, I'm just good.
Well, there's a lot of people looking out for this critter now. At first I was a little bit sceptical about it, but the more we kind of go for local walks up here in Winter Hill, the more people you meet and talk to, the more sightings, and it's just, I'm beginning to think now, seriously, there's got to be something going on if so many people are coming forward. And I think we said in Critter Part 1, credible people like dentists, you know, are coming forward and saying, well, it scared the living daylights out of me. I was driving my kids to school and it ran across the field beside the car, and it's like, these are not just people that are hallucinating unless he's had too much of his flipping knockout drug for taking teeth out.
Yeah, it's just... When people have seen these things, and people always go,
Yeah, so we're going to walk up to the road now where the lady... oh, is that a branch up floor? Pick that up, we'll do some wood knocks. Let's treat this the Bigfoot researchers treat. If this is full of rock, this will break, but just try it anyway. Yeah, go on, do another. Yeah. Alright. Oh, all the birds are flopping.
Oh, sorry.
Fuck all the birds up. Sorry, birds. Is that a bloody critter again knocking on wood?
What do you reckon on me getting a Polaroid here?
Yeah, take a Polaroid. Anything is worth it if we get the evidence. Well, these people, I mean, we've got Winter Hill Paranormal up here looking for it, like, permanently. We've got Wheelton Paranormal up here looking for it on the other side, permanently. And there's other credible YouTubers all out looking for it. Now, we did do one Critter Woods episode, didn't we? And then we kind of like jacked it in because I thought, you know, I think this is a bit of a hoax. I'm not pretty sure. But when we're out walking locally, like this is only like 3 miles from where we live, and you're meeting people and they're saying, oh my God, yeah, I had a really weird experience. This thing, it was like a black shape on 2 legs, hairy, with about 7 foot tall, 8 foot tall, shot across the path and into the trees. You start thinking, well, what the hell? People seeing something. So we just need to investigate it, just in case we do catch some eye shine, or Andy's got his Polaroid camera from the 1970s. And we're hoping that we might be able to pick up some eye shine. And the beauty of the Polaroid, of course, is that we can show you the photographs within 10 minutes. So this is a bit of a clearing where they've been chopping down some trees. We're going to walk up to the road where the lady claimed to have seen this figure, this being crossing over. And she said it was at early hours. She came out with her dog at like 5 o'clock in the morning, dawn breaking, and it was then that she saw it. And this is commonly known as Critter Woods because I think they've had about 3 sightings in this particular region now. Although there have been sightings dotted around all over the different parts of Winter Hill. And that's the television mast there in the background, that red, you can see that. That's where we were doing the Scotchman Stump Winter Blizzard Special in the snow. That was the place we were. So that's a good landmark for anything that we do up here on Winter Hill.
What I'm going to do is I'll get another one we get.
Yeah, okay. That's the road. There is a main road down there that goes through the hills. So if you hear any traffic in the background, that's what that is. The farmers use it a lot. You know, trekking to and forth. Alright, so let's climb up to the road where the lady... She was pretty freaked out. She was quite an old... I'll say she was about 70 or something. And she said she walks her dog regular in these parts. And that particular morning, this thing just... The dog started to bark and she kind of looked and this thing shot across and she was like... She said she freaked out and turned around and just went back because she didn't know what it was.
People have had them though. I mean, there's other ones up there that we can park and that woman had that one where it takes down the hill.
Yeah, so... you know... Andy, can you just check is my head torch on?
Yes, on.
Okay, right. Alright, so we're going to walk up, but if I can remember where those tree breaks were, there's some really unusual tree breaks, you know, like completely snapped in two. Which, when it's snow, they kind of bend trees. But these are clean breaks, and I was studying them today and I thought, that's weird. It's like something's like snapped it. I mean, I know we've had storms, but storms normally uproot trees completely, you know, they don't normally sort of snap them part way. So, we're going to go up to the road and we'll see where this lady saw the... There's also a bit of history up here too, guys, of this region. There used to be a factory up here that did like slate and tile and quarry stone and all that, so we'll show you a little bit of that as well while we're up here. So it was seen on the road up here. Well, we did see a critter cage. We saw a critter cage, didn't we, up on the top somewhere. We're going to have to go back and investigate that further, what that's for. And have a look if there's footprints anywhere too. If this thing comes out, you know, at night, then, and it's muddy, then perhaps it can leave a footprint. So, let me think where the lady was. Right, she was about here, she said. Here, where that bit of fencing is there. And she said it shot across in that direction. And she freaked out with the dog. And the dog was barking and running around. And she just turned. She said, I just went back because there was nobody else up here and it freaked me out. She said, I just thought, my God, is it a person running through the woods or... So it came down from that side, the slopes of the hill there, to about there, this region. Let's just get up to it a little bit better. She said beyond this fence bit here, so about there is actually a path. So it must have come down this path, Andy. Oh, there's a footpath here. She said behind that fence, the fence is there, and there's a footpath, Luke. So it must have run down this footpath.
There's all woods up there, isn't there?
And it shot across and went through there and down into the woods. That's what she said. And she was still visibly shaken, I could tell. And she didn't want to, I didn't have the camera with me, I only had my phone. And she said, I'd rather not, if you don't mind, you know, which, okay, you've got to respect it when people don't want to be seen and stuff on camera. But let's just have a look at the floor. You never know if there's going to be any unusual prints or... What's that there? Does that look like toes?
What's it saying?
It is a bit hard to say. Well, bearing in mind this thing's going to be barefoot in it. Do you want to do another howl? Let's do another howl. You keep focused on the mast, guys, because then you can see where.
Ooh!
That's Andy howling. Alright, so let's walk down this road then, because this is like on the verge of the woods. And if it's been coming down from up there, then perhaps one of its hideouts is up there amongst the trees, perhaps. I mean, is there one or is there more? These are the questions that, if there's only one, it could be anywhere, but if there's a handful, like a family of them, I mean, would it be an individual or would there be a few, you think?
You would imagine there'd be more than one. I would imagine.
But what are they? This is the thing. They've been seen in Cannock Chase, but if you think about it, right, there's always been a beast of some sort. There's been the beast of Bodmin Moor. There's been the one, the Sherlock Holmes thing, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yeah.
There's been the Cannock Chase has seen similar to what we've been getting round here. And this is like the Pennine Critter. But it gets given different names depending on what region you go in, because and these are some of the historical things that I wanted to show you. These are like the miners. Do you remember when we did the Barrow Bridge Miners Steps Paranormal the other week?
Yeah.
Well, those steps lead up to here, where there used to be the horses. It's a little bit of local history. So this road, it tells you here. Small industries once covered this estate. Handloom weavers, colliers digging coal, clay and stone from pits and dells, farms raising sheep and cattle to feed the growing towns. Here at Burns Hedge Works, coal, bricks and tiles were made and sent on carts along this unique stone tramway. Raised stones kept the carts on the track down to Walkerfold and on to Bolton. Now I'm thinking, right, what if there's some derelict buildings up here, that factory, and what if whatever this critter thing is sheltering out in there?
Up that way up there.
Sheltering it?
Yeah. And food.
As long as they've got shelter, food and water.
Not only that, you've got a lot of deer up here as well.
Yeah, there's deer everywhere.
Deer and birds.
So we just need to keep an eye out, and ears especially, to see if we hear anything unusual or anything rushing down the, the side of the hill there from the trees, the tree line at the top there. So I always talk to local people when I'm out on a morning walk, because I always say, have you seen any UFOs, or have you had any paranormal or anything unusual, critter, but the lady was like, oh god, yeah, that was really pretty scary. I think she said it was about 8 months ago when it happened, so we're only looking at like last summer. She was out at dawn with the dog. I'm not sure what the latest site is. Winter Hill Paranormal are pretty on top of it, they take recordings all the time of people's witness statements and things like that. We just sort of stumble across now and again, don't we, different people that are claiming to have seen.
You know what they do it all.
It's their project. It's Winter Hill Paranormal. It is their project, really. And we haven't actually been in touch with them yet, have we? But we did see them one time when we were up at the two lads, and they were hiking further down, weren't they, doing something.
Yeah.
So it really is their research thing. But whenever we come across someone who's had the sighting, then we pick up the trail and just do a little bit ourselves. And if we did get any credible evidence, obviously we contact Winter Hill Paranormal and say, look, we've just done a little bit of this because people are witnessing strange things, and share it with them, because that's what you do when you're YouTubing. You help each other and share the information. It shouldn't be a battle of who's better than who and any of that nonsense that sometimes goes on. Yeah, well, these trees down here, there was some strange breaks, snaps and things. Down there is the woods, the Critter Woods itself, where we were the other week when we did part one. Part one, we started off on this road and then we walked down into the woods to follow the trail. And then part two, we've picked up where we left part one and continued it up to the road. So we've come like a full circle. Part 1 is like half of it, and this part 2 is the second half of it. But we've actually spoke to someone who's had a sighting now, whereas before we was just going off local, newspaper articles and people that Winter Hill Paranormal have interviewed about this strange creature. And it's just weird because sometimes I drive along this road in the morning going to work because it's a nice route to take, and there's always deer. And then you think, what would you do if you saw something like that legging it across the road? I honestly don't know what I'd do, to be fair. And then it's like, who'd believe you? You'd have to have your dash cam on, wouldn't you? Well, no one would really believe you. If I went into work and said I see the 7-foot creature legging it across the road, they're like, oh, it'll be James from Toppins. Yeah. But if you see it on your own, like that lady saw it on her own, but because the dog was like howling and what have you, she knew it wasn't, she'd not imagined it. Yeah. So if you're going to see something like that, you're better off if you see it with someone, aren't you? Or, well, like a UFO, I guess it's better if you see it with somebody than see it alone. And you don't feel quite so... I think it's just to know that somebody else has seen the same thing as you. And puts your mind at rest that you're not the only one to see it. Now these trees over here, some of them have got strange breaks, I noticed. Now the ones that are leaning probably have been pushed down by snow. But there's some that are just like snapped, and I'm thinking like, how? Really? Yeah, like that's at an odd angle, isn't it? But a couple of branches have snapped off, and the others are leaning. So I don't know if it's heavy snowfall, or we haven't really had that much heavy snowfall this year, have we? Not to that extent, I don't think.
Not that heavy.
But this, like here, for example, this branch has been snapped down here, Luke. You can get close up to this because it's low down. Like that, there.
Well, that's been snapped.
No, Luke.
That's not bent.
No, that's a clean break. There, snapped.
That's not snow. Snow wouldn't
It's
do
been
that.
snapped down,
It's
so...
like them behind it.
But I do know that in America, when birds climb trees, they can snap the branches like that, so... Perhaps if something's climbed up them trees... We don't have birds here, so what's climbed up that's heavy to snap that?
That's been snapped, eh?
That's what I was thinking this morning when I was looking. I thought, it's an unusual tree break, really. Yeah, it is really. I mean, it's like over there, them trees look. I mean, them branches are in a weird formation if you look, I think. And like in America where Bigfoot seems to build its tree branches in a weird formation as like a sign. I mean, let's just have a look down there because there's a bit of a path we can get down. I think there's a bit of a... can get down this bit here. Let's just get a bit closer to that tree there, guys, because the way them branches have broken, it just looks a bit odd to me. Right, there's some logs to climb over, Andy, but you should be able to get down. Yeah, we're okay, it's soft. Just watch the logs because they're like everywhere. It's a big tree felling area, this, but I'm pretty sure that the tree surgeons wouldn't leave it like that. It just seems to be very strangely broken, this. I'll just keep my eye on the floor for a minute because you never know. You know how I am for going down holes. Like there. They snap clean over like at a 90-degree angle, and it's just... I don't know, I really don't. Now when storms have a go at trees, they normally uproot them like that there. This one here has been uprooted, Luke, so this is probably storm damage, this one. Because we've had plenty of trees uprooted around here by storms, haven't we?
You understand that,
but that's just snap clean over. But I know in the States and that, if birds climb trees, they'll snap the branches clean like that, and we don't get birds here, so unless it's a natural thing, It's got to be some big animal's done that, and something climbing up has done it.
Something's trying to make it pull them over. Make the blood in it.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Like Bigfoot. Bigfoot tries to make dens out of trees. Who knows, guys? Maybe we've got our very own version of, I wouldn't say Bigfoot, but some strange cryptoid creature that we don't know, understand. And is it from outer space? Is it alien? Or is it something natural that's very good at hiding away? We don't really know, do we? But as long as we get people coming forward and saying that they've seen something, we will come out and investigate it. Definitely. Try and get to the bottom of what it is. But everyone's describing the same thing. 7 foot, 2 legs, black and hairy. Makes it sound like a werewolf, doesn't it? And they've always had the werewolf and lycanthropy legends here in Europe. It makes you wonder now if there's not some truth in it. I mean, it'd be brilliant if we saw or heard something rustling or something now. But these are credible people that's coming forward. They're not like, you know, hoaxers or lunatics who just really want to see something weird. These are people who are going about their everyday lives and seeing it.
What you really need is 2 people seeing it.
Yeah. Well, them 2 ladies did, didn't they? They went to Winter Hill Paranormal to report it.
Yes, they did.
It was the Queen's Jubilee last, was it year before last? And they were lighting up the Rivington Pike, weren't they? And I think there was 3 or 4 ladies walked up with dogs to the top, and then coming back, 2 of the ladies went a different way because they were going back down to Abbey Village. And those 2 ladies saw the same thing, and the dogs bolted after it, and it fled. So because you've got Winter Hill here, you've got like different villages around the bottom of it. Same like Pendle, you've got Pendle Hill, you've got several villages around the bottom of it and a couple in the middle of it. It's the same here. Winter Hill is the next hill along, really. And we have like the same villages at the bottom. Ours is Astley Bridge. There's one called Abbey Village, which is the 2 ladies who saw it came from that particular area. There's Belmont. Yeah, there's different. There's Rivington. There's Horwich. There's Johnson Fold. There's all different areas at the foot of Winter Hill, isn't there?
Was he a teacher, that guy who saw that thing running across the field?
Might have been, but there was definitely a dentist who come forward and said that he'd seen. Yeah, he was driving his kids to school, and he said that he saw it running across the field. Yeah, or did he? Didn't somebody catch it on dashcam or something?
I think he actually caught it, because he never noticed actually that he hadn't really seen it.
Yeah.
He hadn't seen it, it was only when he replayed it back that what the hell was that.
Yeah.
And he played it back again and then sent it off. And played around with it and had a look at it. Yeah, that was up at Tockholes, I think.
Tockholes, yeah.
It was up at Tockholes, that.
So it's different parts. I've seen it on all around the foot of this hill, Winter Hill. And over at Wealton, which is going towards Preston and Chorley. I've seen it over there as well. Because Wealton Paranormal have been out looking for it.
There's one guy who just basically does that all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah, because he had a experience. He was driving his car slow through the forest in the middle of the night, and he said it followed alongside his car. He caught it in the wing mirror, like just walking alongside, running alongside. So I think when we're out and about in the daytime, we need to ask more people, have you witnessed anything strange? Or just say, look, we're looking for paranormal stories, and just see if anybody comes forward and says, well, there has been one thing.
Yeah.
You know, because then you're not planting the idea in their heads, are you?
No.
Everybody has a ghost story to tell, of some form or another.
I think you'll find there's probably a lot more people than you think.
Yeah, probably.
I've seen.
Probably people just don't want to come forward and say, in case they get disbelieved.
Some people want
It's like UFOs, isn't it? People are reluctant to say sometimes that they've seen something because they feel like, well, who's going to believe me if they haven't seen it? I think when you've seen one, you're more likely to believe people, because I wouldn't like to go up to someone and say I've just seen something unusual in the sky and be laughed at. Do you know what I mean? Have people not believe. You'd want people to listen and go, what was it you saw? You know, and be a little bit more open to it.
Yeah. But I mean, there's too many people have seen things, but I think what you need is 2 or 3 people to have seen it at the same time.
Yeah.
Who can witness it. As much as you can believe people that say it on their own who said they've seen it, unless they've got photo of it, or you know, there's some sort of evidence, nobody's ever going to believe them, and it's never going to be enough to prove anything, is
No.
it? You know what I mean? No matter how credible they are, they're not going to be believed, are they?
No.
You know, I think the people who do think there's something there, yeah, you don't, enough's enough.
Yeah.
But people who don't, it's never enough, is it?
No, it was Derek Okora, the psychic medium, who said once, wasn't it? He said, to the believer, you don't need any proof, and to the disbeliever, there'll never be enough proof. And it's true, innit? It all depends whether you're sceptical or not. I think a lot of people are sceptical until they experience it.
It's the same with the paranormal.
Yeah.
You know, when you've had that experience, whether you're on your own and you've not got it on camera or whatever, and you're on your own with it, you know what you saw.
Yeah.
And, could that be some sort of Bigfoot sign?
You don't know, do you? Would they arrange stones in an unusual pattern like that to give
random stones on?
Yeah, maybe. How do we know? We're going to pull over here and stop where them benches are, and we'll keep quiet and listen out and just film around.
I'll get a photo.
Yeah, and then you see how your Polaroid's coming on. And just to point out of interest, guys, those red lights over there in the distance, that's Manchester City Centre. And you can see these hills from Manchester City Centre. So there's a picnic table over there, so let's just park ourselves there. And we're not too far from the road. We can just have a listen out to see if we hear anything unusual. This is where we started the Critter Part 1. Up here, and then we walk that down on the path. Do you want this bench or that one down there? There's one here. Yeah, Critter Part 1, if people have seen it. This is where we started out, and we walked down into the woods and went through the woods like a round circle. So tonight we've met the other end of that circle and then come back up onto the road. So this is what they call it, Critter Woods, because I think we've had 3 sightings, including the lady I talked to today. We've had 3 sightings, because I was up and out early this morning. And I did some filming on my phone just to introduce the tunnel series that we're going to be doing later on in the year. So I filmed 10 minutes of one of the tunnels just to begin that off, you know, for us. And I climbed up here and walked along, and then that lady was you know, she said, yeah, a really strange thing. And it's always good that, you know, people are open to talk about their experiences like that. How's the Polaroid? Is it developed, or maybe is the film loaded in right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe just take another in it and try again, something. So that's one of our farms over there. That's quite a big farm. They do like horse training and stuff like that as well. That's the television mast back there where we have been several times. Two Lads murder site is up there, and Scotchman Stump murder site is up. There's quite a lot of murder sites up there. The plane crash site is up there. And this particular area is Walkerfold, Scout Road. There's a pub at the bottom end called the Bob Smithy, because it used to be a blacksmith's for shoeing horses back in the day. It's a popular pub for walkers. There's a lot of people out today walking up here, and then as soon as it hits darkness, you're on your own, then no one wants to be up here in the dark. Andy's doing Polaroids. Just to see if we can catch any eye shine or anything like that, you know, you never know. Because in Critter 1, when we were down at the bottom, towards the end, we noticed some eye shine. And we didn't notice until we watched it back, you know, and then we were like, is it deer? But deers would move about, really, and it was just eye shine, and it didn't seem to be moving. So we didn't really know what that was. We'll see if we get anything on the Polaroid. We've tried 3 now, so we'll see if they come out. If not, then maybe it's because of the lighting isn't right. We're just practicing with it because that Polaroid camera belongs to Andy's parents, so it is from the 1970s, and we've managed to get the film for it. So we're really just trying it out for now,
It does
because
work because I took that
yeah, it
photo.
definitely works because we've taken some indoor shots, but I'm just thinking outdoor.
I might need a bit more. It might need a bit more than the flash.
Maybe
I'm not
we
saying
could all try it out and see,
I'm
and
not saying there's nothing on there, but
let it develop. Maybe it takes longer in the dark. So Andy, your thoughts on the critter?
in a way I'm sceptical until I hear anything or see anything. But I'll look at it that there must be something there. There's too many people, credible people, who've seen stuff. So I mean, there's obviously something there. But sort of,
Yeah, on the fence.
if it was America, I'd go,
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, definitely. But then again, when you look on the internet, YouTube and stuff, there's people with pictures, and you know, you look at them and you think, yeah, there's something there.
Some strange things, isn't there?
Me, I think I'm one of them until I've experienced it myself.
Yeah.
I'm always on that. I'm not saying these people aren't credible or haven't seen what they've seen, but I think it's the same with the paranormal. I'm not one of those who every bump, every sound, every shadow is paranormal.
Yeah.
I like to, right, it could be this, right, no, it's not that. And, you know what I mean? Because that's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. You've got to debunk stuff, haven't you?
You know, and I'm not saying these people aren't credible, but until...
Got to eliminate everything else.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many things. I don't think it's...
It's Sherlock Holmes that says, eliminate the possible and only the impossible remains.
Yeah. There is... I don't think we have anything like a Bigfoot.
No. Because
What?
the thing is, we're an island, and Europe, may get the Bigfoot because it might migrate across from India and the Himalayas and down from Russia, Siberia, but here, because we're on an island, it's not going to happen here, unless it can swim or make a boat.
Who's
Or
to say there are animals that we don't know about?
well, what about the Beast of Bodmin Moor? I mean, that's been a legend for a couple of
I mean,
hundred
that's-
years. That came from somewhere. This
People
black
have seen that. This big
panther
black-
type
big
thing.
black dog.
And that's what the Hound of the Baskervilles was based upon.
Yeah,
And then Cannock Chase, where they've seen these critter type.
people have heard things and seen things. Now, not every, and a lot of these people don't want the publicity and want to be kept anonymous. And you think, well, if they're pulling a fast one, you'd be doing it for the publicity, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd want yourself known.
And most people are like,
to get your attention. A lot of these people
don't want to go on camera.
It's like people who've UFOs and things like that. They don't want to go on camera. They don't want to be identified.
Yeah.
So if they're making it up, what's the point?
Yeah.
What are they getting out of it? They're not getting any publicity out of it. They're not getting any attention out of it. They're doing it anonymously.
Yeah, they are.
So in other words, there's too many things.
Yeah.
And
I think we need to camp out. You know, when the weather gets better.
Yeah. there's some
Down
good
in the
places
clearing,
down
there's a
there.
clearing down there by the stream that's a perfect place to pitch a tent. So if we do, we're going to be doing haunted camping this summer anyway, aren't we, down the coast and stuff like that. So if we do a little bit of critter camping as well, see if we can, because that's when you're going to hear things in the night, isn't it? Because we can cook something outdoors and even the food might attract it, mightn't it? But footprints, we need to come up during the day and have a look if there's any unusual footprints.
You know, you look at the signs of this area
Yeah.
where there's nothing and it's pitch dark. There's something, you know, nocturnal.
Especially in the dead of night when this road's quieting down, because it's only like, what, 8 o'clock now, isn't it?
This is only a short stay of the amount of land that there is.
You go to the other side of that mast, it drops down into Abbey Village, and it's been seen on that side a couple of times.
There's got to be mining tunnels under here that nobody's noticed.
Yeah.
Who's to say that there aren't? You don't know.
No, we don't
Like I said,
know.
if it's nocturnal. I mean, people say, how many people hear owls but never ever see them?
Yeah,
I've probably only seen about 4 or 5 in the whole of my lifetime.
yeah. Lucky if you see them really owls, aren't you?
You just don't see owls.
No,
You
not
just
very
don't.
rarely.
You know, same with what's it called? Stags.
Yeah, I
People
saw
heard
one down
them.
here, Lucky, where that farm is, that road along there. I saw one at 5 o'clock in the morning, just standing by the roadside.
I
It was
can
just
honestly
still.
say, I've heard one.
Oh, up in where we were
I've
up at the
heard
John
one.
O'Groats, weren't we? Up in the
I can't-
Highlands.
I've seen deer, but I've never ever seen a stag.
Yeah,
Other than in, you know, these big wildlife places.
because we camped up at
You know,
John O'Groats, didn't we? Up in the Highlands.
But you don't see them.
No,
It's very rare that you see them.
stags, because there's only like 1 to so many deer, aren't
That's
there?
what I mean. You see them, but you never.
So yeah, we did the road trip. We did the end to end, didn't we, with the tent? We went down to Land's End and then went all the way up to John O'Groats and Wick. And we did camp on a farm where the lady said to us, listen out for the stag in the night. If you hear like a monster coming out of the woods, it'll be the stag.
And the thing is, if she
We wouldn't
hadn't
have
told
known
us about that, you were in that tent.
Yeah.
You would have wondered what the hell was that.
Yeah, we would.
And you've nowhere to go. You know, it's. But people never see. There's animals that are about that are normal, day-to-day thing. People just don't see them.
No, very rare. Only at night you catch them with your headlights. Like we saw a rabbit last night running across, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which is the first signs of spring when the daffodils are coming up and the rabbits stuck.
All this area in the dark, and if they're running out at night, tell us about how many people are walking through at night. So they wouldn't.
No, very few. Maybe Saturday
It's on-
nights,
on
but not
occasion,
midweek.
You know,
Yeah.
like a celebration thing with a big bonfire or something like that. That you would actually.
Yeah, you get a few up then, don't
encounter
you?
'em, and it's probably more of a protective thing than an aggressive thing.
Yeah.
You know, why are you here? You know.
Well, it's like them birds when you howled before and they all shot out of the tree because they're not used to that sound.
No.
So they're frightened and that's why they flee off.
Yeah.
So that's the road up there where the lady saw the critter. I'm going to call it the critter because everyone's calling it the critter. I think over at the Whalley side they call it Dogman, don't they? Whalley, Clitheroe area, Wealton, Preston, Chorley. But over this side, you've got here Belmont, Smithills, Astley Bridge where we live, Walkerfold, Johnsonfold, Horwich, Rivington. They call it the critter, so it changes names, region.
There's got to be something in it. It's like werewolves and vampires.
Yeah, it's like, where did those stories come from? They originated from somewhere, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get anything coming out of a coffin like Christopher Lee, but there's obviously something there. You know, there's something.
Yeah.
There's definitely something. Something. There's. Okay, the stories might be pushed out for fantasy and for films and for books, but you've always got to have that basis
Yeah.
of where that story's come from. So them stories must have come from
They come from somewhere.
Somebody is.
It's like the Hebden Bridge story. The lady, I forget her name now, a lady who belonged to one of the big halls there. She went running out into the night because she got a bit mad in her mind, and they chased after her to catch her. And apparently
Yeah.
there was a wolf prowling, and they grabbed the wolf, chopped its paw off, and then the lady, when she woke up in the bed the next day, had a hand missing.
I think it was somebody.
Hebden Bridge.
Lady Isabel.
It's only Yorkshire, isn't it? Not far from here.
Eagles Crag.
Eagles Crag, Hebden Bridge.
What that story was, I can't remember. Supposedly, she was a witch, and I don't know whether it was something to do with Townley Hall.
Yeah, Townley Hall, was it?
Something to do with Townley Hall, and I don't know whether they said. I think they said she was a witch, and they accused her of witchcraft. That was it. She bewitched, I think, somebody from Townley Hall. I'm not exact on my facts here.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at it. It's just something. And supposedly the locals chased her up to Eagles Crag.
Yeah.
Which I think is, like you
We've
said,
been to Eagles Crag.
Hebden Bridge.
Hebden Bridge, yeah.
Hebden Bridge is Todmorden. And they lost track of her. Next thing, they found a deer, a white deer, and they cut its leg off. They trapped its leg or something like that. And the next day she turned up with a hand missing.
Yeah, no, this is where the story changes, because I always heard it was a wolf that she turned into, and they chased the wolf, chopped its paw off, and when she turned up, she had a hand missing. So it's a legend, isn't it, that gets a bit distorted, the truth.
Yeah. Oh no, it was. She was called Lady Isabel.
Yeah.
Lady Isabel.
Do you want to sit here? Then we're going to say goodbye to the camera soon, because we're getting low now on battery. Not our batteries. Not our batteries. Our batteries are still going, aren't they? Even though we was out all night doing paranormal at an abandoned house, and then we did the Lostock Arms, which we couldn't get in, but there's a lot of abandoned pubs everywhere, which we're going to check them out. But some you can get in and some you can't, so we're going to try that. And then I was out early this morning shooting a tunnel down there. So there's the introduction to our tunnel series that we're going to do in autumn this year. So right, this is part 2 of the Critter series, and as long as we get people coming forward with, evidence, then we're going to check it out. So
it's good night from her.
Yeah. I will see you soon, guys.